So I just wanted to show you guys just how I was doing this. Basically, when it comes to capturing the characters and talking about their plot and what I'm trying to accomplish here. So that's kind of what this quick video is going to be about. I'm just going to show you how I'm doing this and what I've done so far. Okay, I recorded this previously, but the audio didn't pick up, so I gotta fucking do a commentary over it. So it's gonna be hard for me. Okay, uh, here's Eris so far: first act, second act, and third act. I'm trying to. I guess I did fourth act, but I haven't got there yet. Um, I'm laying it out because I don't really know by book. It's gonna be difficult to say which book did this happen in. So let's break them down by acts. So, I think that's kind of how I did that the first time. And then the beginning part that I had there is about like a quick commentary of what's going to happen throughout the character's whole story, beginning to their death. And then you break it down by acts of what you want to happen in each act. So like the first act is the first book essentially of Eris and his journey and all that stuff. The second act is what'll happen to him later, and then obviously third act. Like I said, it's hard to do right now with chapters and with books because we don't know what books these are going to fall into. So that's why I'm choosing to do it this way. And I've done every character. I don't know when I go to that part, but yeah, see, and then you see Nakim there. Everything I want to have Nakim from beginning to his end of the story. And then I start breaking it down from different acts underneath that. What happens in the first section? What happens in the second? What happens in the third? Then you see I did Anna. And I only got to her second act. No, maybe I did her. No, I just got to her. Yeah, I did a third. Titus, I don't know yet. I'm figuring him out. He's whatever. But like I said, there's his story. I got Cypherus. New character, Keldug. I'll figure her out. I'm even doing the bad guys too. So like Martis. I think I only got his first act. Second act, I don't know yet. I got Cordus. And then I got... There's Aya. She's like the newest character. Kinda. And then I got this guy named Sora Goldvim. You don't know him yet. You'll figure him out later. After that, I broke it down to kingdoms. Like what I want to have in each kingdom from the beginning to its end. I think I also did how I want the whisper portrayed. I'll do that part. And then later after that, I'm going to do, as you can see at the bottom, I'm not going to probably show you, but that's relationships. How I want each relationship to go from each section between Eris and Cypherus, between Eris and Nakim, between Eris and Anna. So it's like, I'm doing that. Yeah, right there. Okay, cool. I am showing it. That's going to be done too. How do I want the relationships to form and shape with each character? And then underneath that, this is all for me, kind of like, okay, keep this in mind and all that stuff, and try to remember all these different things. That's talking about Eris's kind of story and a little bit about the prophecies and stuff like that. Yes, that's all what that part is. This part you guys don't have to worry about. This is for me. I'm gonna send it to you once I get it all done. And then I think, yeah. That's how does Eris grow? This is for me. How Cypherus? I'm trying to improve the book. I'm trying to get better. That's why I'm writing it down. Like, how can I make this pacing better? How can I make the story hit better? How can I improve this or that? That's what that stuff's all about. But other than that, yeah, that's kind of a brief synopsis of what I'm trying to do here with each character. Trying to break it down by acts. It's not too hard. You got to really remember what you're doing with your characters. But okay, so this one is also it's called the Prophecy Book. And it's still in the works because there's a lot of things that aren't the same anymore. I still got to edit it, but this is the prophecy so I can keep in mind with Eris his whole story of what I want him to accomplish along the way and what signals growth, because that's going to be the issue. We've got to signal growth with these characters, and so, okay, I need to write down almost like the prophecy in the walls that says here's what's going to happen, whether that be his adventures that he goes along, but also things like the story-wise. And when he hears the song originally, and then what happens when he meets Ravian, which is a surprise to you guys, and just kind of understanding how the prophecy affects the character in the story. That's what I'm writing down in this one, and I'll send along too. So you can kind of see how to keep track of it, because your characters are going to follow along a prophecy as well. But anyway, going back to this stuff, yes. So the beginning part that I just highlighted there, write down from everything you know about the character all the way until you can no longer think about him anymore. And then he dies by himself in a cabin. Like, whatever. Just think about that beginning part. Anyway, and then what am I doing here? Oh, this is the book, and I was talking about the book and what I'm doing right now, and then I'm probably going to flash to... This is what I'm also doing. I'm going to go through this eventually and edit it, make sure the pacing is all good. I hate that when that happens. I don't know how to fix it. And then basically, I'm going to go through all this part. This is the book, the actual book, all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to start laying in all of the stuff of the typewriter stuff. The stuff that I wrote in the typewriter. And these are this is the typewriter part. I think it's about 80 pages or so that I have to kind of like put from in here and put them into the fucking story. Copy paste, but hand typing. But yeah, so the problem I was having with that was I just mentioned something that just doesn't work anymore about the Naku, and I had to rethink the entire fucking plot. And I'm like, why are they fucking running? A lot of things happened that almost derailed the whole story, but I fixed it. I had to add some things in to make it all work together for my story. Just know that it doesn't affect your guys' stories in any way. I know I keep changing shit up and keep making things different, but it's always on my end. Nothing's going to change on your guys' end. You guys are doing the same goddamn things. The 464 attack thing is just the same. That doesn't matter to you guys till that happens. We're still going to run into Elastra. It's all the same. Nothing's... Oh, that is weird. Wow. Okay. So yeah, nothing's changed. I should probably sit up. Nothing's changed at all for Elastra's story and Vathia's story. It's all the same things that are happening. I can't think of one thing that I'd be like, well, just so you know, this is going to be different. Because what I was doing was, we still have Eris and Nakum and his party running into Elastra's party, right? That was always going to happen. And where am I? That would be what would be Eris's second act. And Eris and fucking my God, Nakum and Anna's second act. And basically, let me see. Blah blah blah. Yeah, see, okay. I have things that I have to do in my second act, which is basically go to Entran in the forest because they need to visit the body of the king. That's it. We have to do that. We're going to run into you guys at a certain point. It doesn't really fucking matter. I just wanted to accomplish my things, because if I didn't do this, then Eris didn't have a story. That was the problem. He never really had a story. I was so focused on hearing what you guys were doing, and I was so focused on editing that I realized that Eris doesn't even have a fucking story. He would just he got up to book 1, it's like, then what happens? A battle? And then all of a sudden he disappears? Like, no. So I had to work on that, and that's why I wanted to hear everyone's stories, so I can see how I can fit them all together. That's the whole purpose of this, and that's why I said just every character that you know, write them down and try to put it in acts, and then I will take it, I'll look at it with all my stuff, and I'll see, how does this all gonna work? How are we gonna make all this happen? Because up to this point, I think I just did basically 3 acts. I didn't really do any more than that. It's gonna be more, because what would be my fourth act for Eris would be escaping from 464. So as you can see, it's really maybe like 10 acts or so that are going to happen to the characters all together. This is just a starting point. Let's just see how far we can go, and I'll work more on it, and I'll add even more into it, like Act 5, Act 6, Act 7, to all these people. But when I look on here, I see... When I look on here, I see that I have... it's going to be hard to edit. I don't even know what I was going to say. But when I look on here, I see that there's only 3 acts. And then I'm going to do a 4th act and all that stuff. But the problem is, I remember now, that... Where is the best person to show this with? Ooh, that was weird. Ah, yeah. Now, like I said, I only have her 2nd act. And I'm working through that. And that's where Titus comes in. But then we have this new character, Sorvo Goldvim, who's going to be the new king of Adrana. He's going to usher in an era of no more magic, hopefully. And that'll be helped with Eris. Eris will be kind of his advisor in a way. That's the goal. Will that happen? Not really sure yet. We know what happens to Eris because of Elastria. So things might not work. Maybe they do. Maybe we push things aside. That's why I want to see everyone's paths so I can see what I can do with them. But anyway, when you go to here to, like, I don't know her 3rd act, that'll become the problem because I haven't even written her 1st act yet in like a first, or like a rough draft. I haven't even wrote it out. I just know she exists. I know what I want to do with her in a sense, but I haven't even done it yet. So that's why it's kind of hard to... I get it. It's going to be hard to say, well, I don't know what fucking Vim's going to do. I get it. But you need to think of the character in detail and say, what do you want to happen with them? You have to think of that. Like, what do I need happening with Vim? I know that I don't have his story right now, but what is there something that I want to do with Vim? Or Marshal Tycrodius, or anybody else. Any of one of your characters that right now you know a bit, but you have no fucking clue of, like, even their last names at sometimes, or like what you want them to be in the story. Right now they're kind of like side characters to your main plot, your main people. You're going to have to think of everybody that's going to be mentioned in the story. Because I think eventually what we're going to have is 50 to 60 different plots and stories going on at the same time, and by the time we hit like book 4 or 5, that's going to be kind of tough to keep a hold of. So that's why we need to know, what are we going to do with these characters? And this is the best way I think we can do this, is by just laying it all out on paper, essentially on the computer or whatever. I'll get a hold of it, I'll put us all on there, and then what I want to do after that is you guys send me yours, I'll add it into mine, I'll make an entire fucking, apparently it's going to be like a pamphlet, you know, like 10 pages, and we're just going to, I'm going to send it back to you, and each one of us is just going to kind of take in the story, and I want everyone to kind of think about, okay, I think this would be a good idea if you put Aya's story at this section. Like, we'll talk about this stuff. That's the point of this. We're going to have to start planning this, because we were kind of planning it, we thought, but as I've been going on, and as I've been doing more studying about writing and doing this kind of shit, we haven't done enough. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we haven't. We need to see how this is all going to melt. We know what the stories are. We've talked about it 100 times. I have recordings of us for like 20 hours of us just having conversations of what's going to happen in the books. We need to lay it down, just like we finally laid down the year and the months and stuff. We need to actually get this stuff down. Get the birthdays in there. Get all the names in there that we need and everything. That's all I wanted to say. Try to be as short as I could. It's probably going to be a 20-minute video. But this is for you guys. Just bear that in mind. Let's see what we can accomplish.